Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into ADTV. My name is Anthony. In today's edition, we are going to be talking about the Marquee tool, both the rectangle Marquee tool and the elliptical Marquee tool. Before we get started, there are a few things that I need to show you in order to prep to actually use the tool. Without further ado, let's get into it. First thing I need to show you how to do is unlock your background. So, as you can see right now on the top, I have the layers panel brought up just so you guys can see it. It's labeled background, so that's how you know, and it's locked. So when we refer to a locked layer, that's all it means. All you simply have to do is double click, a menu is going to pop up, then you just got to click OK, and you're now all set to use the selection tool, or the Marquee tool. What the Marquee tool will allow you to do is to be able to move certain portions of the graphic, which I'll demonstrate, delete portions of the graphic, and in some cases change and or fill the color of certain portions of the graphic. Let me show you. You'll notice that the Marquee tool is to the right of the Move tool. I actually have it highlighted, as you can see, so we're actually pretty much ready to get started. Always make sure that your tool is highlighted a darker color, gray, than the tool background. That is how you know you are on the correct tool. The other thing is, in most cases, you'll see a crosshairs or a plus sign, depending upon how you would like to look at it. So the first thing I want to show you right now is that there's a series of squares. There's a square, there's a rectangle, and a square. I want to get rid of two squares, and maybe we'll move the rectangle in between the circle and the triangle. What I always suggest for beginners is when you start making selections, it can be a little bit of it can be very intimidating. So just as a rule of thumb, I would always suggest starting from the top left and ending your selection on the bottom right. This is what I mean. Right now you see my crosshairs. I want to take that whole thing out. So what I'm going to do is with the left clicking of the mouse button, I'm starting at the top left again and I'm dragging down to the bottom right. Okay, I like my selection. It looks good. I'm going to hit the delete button and boom. Looks like I've made space for my colored square that'll come in a minute, and I'll show you how this works. So, here we go. I now want to, just for the fun of it, you know what? Let's invert. Let's invert the rectangle. So what we're going to do, once again, is I need to make the right selection. I'm going to start at the top, left, and I'm going to drag down to the bottom right. I am happy. What I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go to, we're going to invert, and voila. Looks nice and different. Great. Okay. I now want to deselect this because I want to move on. So I'm just going to show you a quick shortcut. To deselect, just simply hit Control D if you're on the PC or Command if you're on the Mac. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to take that bottom square, I'm going to change the color, and then I'm going to move it up. I'm going to start from the top left, and I'm going to drag down to the bottom right. Once I'm happy with my selection, which I'm not, I'm going to move it a little bit, so I'm going to, in order to move the entire selection, I'm just simply going to go to the center. I always suggest this when you're starting off. Left and hold, drag it to where you're about happy with it, release, and now in order to change the color, once again, going to hit Alt, because it's my foreground color, and hit backspace. And we're done. Now I want to take this black triangle, and I simply want to move it in between the circle and the triangle. So in order to do that, we're going to make the selection one more time. Let's deselect simply by hitting Control D for those that are on the PC, or Command D for those that are on the Mac. Now let's make our selection precise. We're going to drag this over till we're happy with the selection. We're going to release, and in this particular case, guys, I want you to hit the Move tool because we're going to be moving the object. So you're going to take your Move tool, and you're going to move that whole selection in between your circle and your triangle. Once you're happy with it, deselect by hitting Control D, and you are done. elliptical tool. So let's demonstrate the elliptical tool right now. I'm going to change the color of the bottom square, and I'm going to make it the bottom circle, and I'm going to make it black, just like that black square, so we have a little bit more black going on. So to do that, the best way, especially when you're dealing with a circle, is to make sure that you start your selection as close to the center as possible. Hit the Alt button. That will allow you to start the selection to start dragging out from the center. And if you want to make this proportional, a little bonus tip for you guys, just hit the Shift button. And this will be a perfectly proportioned circle. If you're using the Marquee tool, the rectangle Marquee tool, you would do the same thing, and it'll just make you a perfectly proportioned square. Alright, I've got it about where I wanted. Once again, I'm not totally happy with where it is, so I'm just going to simply hold in the center of it, and I'm going to drag it till it's about center. Maybe move it. And it looks like we're happy with it, so let's hit Alt and backspace, and we now have a black circle. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. You now know the basics of the Marquee tool, so go discover its possibilities and see if you guys can create your masterpiece. For those that are still struggling with the tool or have any questions, leave a message in the box below and I will respond. And if you guys like what you saw, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys around in the next video.